Friends, we are living in a world that is obsessed with what we do. If you walk into a networking event, the first question someone asks is, "What do you do?" We define ourselves by our products, our job titles, and our bank accounts. But there is a fundamental flaw in this approach. Knowing what you do gives you a career. Knowing why you do it gives you a calling. Most people can tell you what they do. Some can even tell you how they do it, their unique selling proposition, or their proprietary process. But very, very few can clearly articulate why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. By why, I mean what is your purpose? What is your cause? What is your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why should anyone care? The fundamental misunderstanding that most of us carry into our professional lives is the belief that people make decisions based on the features, the benefits, or the tangible qualities of the things we produce. We operate under the assumption that if we simply make a better widget, or offer a slightly more efficient service, or provide a more competitive price point, the world will beat a path to our door. This is a rationalization of human behavior that ignores the very core of how we function as a species. The reality is far more profound, and far more human people do not buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This isn't just a marketing slogan or a clever way to frame a sales pitch. It is rooted in the biology of how we process information and how we build relationships. When we talk about what we do, our products, our services, our job descriptions, we are speaking to the neocortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational and analytical thought. It can process facts and figures, features and benefits, and it can understand the logic of a transaction. But the neocortex does not drive behavior. It is not the part of the brain that makes us feel a sense of loyalty, or a sense of belonging, or a sense of excitement. Those feelings are generated in the limbic brain, the seat of our emotions and our decision-making. The limbic brain has no capacity for language. It is the source of our gut feelings. When we lead with our purpose, when we start with the why, we are communicating directly with the part of the brain that decides. If you are a leader, your goal is not simply to hire people who need a job. It is to hire people who believe what you believe. If you hire people just because they can do a job, they will work for your money. But if you hire people who believe what you believe, they will work for you with blood, sweat, and tears. This shift in perspective changes everything about how we build organizations and how we connect with our communities. When an organization is clear about its why, the what simply becomes the tangible proof of that belief. Think about the brands or the leaders you are most loyal to. You don't stick with them because they are always the cheapest, or because they have the most features on their spec sheet. You stick with them because you feel a sense of alignment with their cause. Their products become symbols of your own identity. By purchasing from them or following them, you are telling the world something about who you are and what you stand for. This is why a person will wait in line for hours for a specific brand of phone when they could walk across the street and buy a functionally identical device with no wait at all. They aren't buying a piece of technology. They are buying a piece of a belief system. They are participating in a movement. When we fail to articulate our why, we are forced to rely on manipulations. We use price drops, promotions, fear, or peer pressure to get people to act. And while these tactics can produce short-term results and drive individual transactions, they do not create loyalty. Loyalty is when people are willing to turn down a better price or a better product to continue doing business with you. That kind of devotion only exists when there is a shared sense of purpose. If you start with what you do, you are a commodity. You are replaceable by anyone who can do it slightly better or slightly faster. But if you start with why you do it, you become a category of one. You are no longer competing on the level of features, you are operating on the level of inspiration. This requires a tremendous amount of discipline. It is easy to talk about what we do because it is visible and measurable. It is much harder to stay true to our why, especially when the pressure for short-term results begins to mount. Yet, the leaders who have the greatest impact, the ones who change the course of industries and the lives of those around them, are the ones who never lose sight of their starting point. They understand that their products and services are merely the tools they use to bring their purpose to life. They realize that the ultimate goal of any endeavor is to find those who share their vision and to build something that serves as a testament to that shared belief. By prioritizing the why, we move beyond the noise of the marketplace and begin to speak a language that resonates with the very soul of the human experience, creating a bond that is not easily broken by the winds of change or the lure of a better deal. To truly understand why some organizations and leaders command such unwavering devotion while others struggle to maintain a foothold, we have to look beneath the surface of business strategy and into the very biology of the human brain. We often think of ourselves as rational beings who weigh options, analyze data, and make logical choices based on the information presented to us. However, the reality of human decision-making is far more visceral. Our need for connection, our sense of trust, and our capacity for loyalty are not just social constructs. They are deeply rooted in our biological makeup. Specifically, they are housed in the limbic system. This part of the brain is responsible for all of our feelings, such as trust and loyalty, and it is also responsible for all human behavior and decision-making. Yet it has no capacity for language. This is why we often find ourselves saying, "I know what all the data says, but it just doesn't feel right." We use our neocortex to process the what and the how. But when it comes to making a commitment, we rely on a part of ourselves that operates purely on belief and instinct. When we say that true loyalty is biological, we are acknowledging that a connection based on a shared purpose is more powerful than any contract, any reward program, or any technical specification.